Good morning. Well, it's not always morning for everyone now, is it? But hello, happy Sunday and tarot play date. Okay, looks like we have about 26 people in here, and I'm going to run through my morning hellos and give people a chance to trickle in. Johnny on the spot today, also posting the Facebook group. And we still are having some troubles with people answering the questions but not agreeing to the rules. So please make sure you do that if you'd like to join the Facebook group, because the conversation, I saw it really picked up this week, and that was a lot of fun. Let's see, who else do we have in here? We have Emma. Hello. Jen Ball is back with us this week. Jen Science to Soul is also with us this week, bright and early in Australia. I have to say that every time. I don't know why. But it's like Jen's here really early in Australia. Michelle, welcome back to the lives. Nice to have you back. Heather's here. Hello, hello. Let's see, who else do we have? Simon, yep. I just like to say that just to test my English or Nottingham accent. Let's see, who else we have? Bastet, hello. France Claire. Nancy. Rosemary, hello. Oh, you guys are chatty today too. Elizabeth, Diane. Hopefully I don't miss anyone. Vicky, Aquarius Al. Did I say Elizabeth already? I don't think I said Elizabeth. Hi, Elizabeth. And Sandra's here from the Whispering Well. I just scrolled too fast. Oh, shoot. Darling Gill, hello. White Tree Tarot, Maharet, Kimberly. Oh, you guys make me so happy every darn week. Sean, hi. Wendy. Cat Little Stitches. There are some new names here. Mindy at Artistry of Tarot watched your first video this week, was loving it. Kathy is here. Hi, Kathy. Essence 818. Okay, I think I made it to the bottom. If I missed anyone, oh, hi, Julia. Julia, OMCS. If I missed you, I'm really sorry. I'm trying to scroll through the chat and kind of get us rolling here. Anybody else who comes in later, of course, I will try and say an occasional hello. So I had a little fun with you guys, and what I think was it just last night, I posted in the Facebook Tarot Playdate Facebook group. I wanted to kind of know what people wanted to see come up this week for our card. I know we've got a lot of people itching for a major, actually a lot of people itching for major. So we will see what comes up this week. Really quick, anybody have anything they'd like to share about the Three of Swords from this week? I looked at the homework last night again, still didn't do it, but I really liked, honestly, both activities. So I may still try to kind of catch up and do those this week. I was traveling for work all the way over to the East Coast to Boston, Massachusetts, and then all the way back here to Seattle this week in a span of 3 days, which made the week kind of crazy. So what are we manifesting? We're manifesting a high priestess. But if you weren't here last week, I know a lot of people, when we first pulled this card, the Three of Swords, and if you haven't watched it back yet, you might look at that and go, maybe I'll skip that one. Maybe I won't go back and watch that one. But I would highly encourage you to do it, because, you know, it looks like a simple card. We all think we know what it means, but so many great ideas and thoughts and concepts were brought to the group by everybody who participated. We looked at different cards. So don't shy away from the swords. They're in the deck for a reason, my friends. All right. Let's see. Who else? V11 Crystals. Hello, hello. Who else do we have? Do we have anybody else? Oh, gosh, yeah. Hello. You snuck in on me. And again, if I missed anyone. If you want to get my attention here in the chat, please make sure that you either put it in all caps or tag me if you are on a device that lets you do that, so it highlights Jen's Balanced Tarot for me. I do pay a really lot of attention in the chat just because of the nature of this, and I'm really trying to get everyone's responses, but I do still miss stuff, especially when I'm writing things down like during the question gathering phase. So speaking of a question gathering, all right, oh, I'm so glad to see all of you here. Okay, so as we do every week, before we pull our card for the week, we like to gather a list of 5 or 6 questions, but usually 5 is, I think, the right number of questions that we would like to see answered by our card this week, or that we just want to hypothetically be able to answer. But I do feel like most people tend to go the route of, let's ask a real question and see what this card tells us for the week. So if you will, bring on the questions. And I was just watching a bit of last week's Tarot Playdate back last night, and I'm still not all the way through it. In fact, I'm barely into it, but I saw some great questions that I missed. So if I didn't pick yours last week, please feel free to bring it forward this week again for me. All right, I'm looking for some questions. Anyone? You're all awfully quiet today. New moon influence. Okay, so how should I phrase that? How is the new moon going to influence our week? Is that a right way to phrase that, Jen? Let's see. And we have Simon with, how can we prepare for impulsively? Okay. Am I pronouncing that right? I'm not so great at following the Sabbats, but I want to learn more. Impulsively. And okay, so how will the new moon influence us this week? Okay. How can we give back to our community? I love that, Bastet. Okay, I've got 3 surprise. Thank you guys for bringing these on for me. You've heard it pronounced many different ways. Is it ever pronounced like Lamus or Lamus? Lambs? I don't know. I sound like I don't know what I'm talking about, but that's because I don't. All right. Let's see. So Elle asked, what is something I can do this week that will serve my new moon intentions? Okay, that's a little bit different than Jen's. Let's see. How can I best keep my energy positive at work this week? Elizabeth. So I think what I'm going to do, Elizabeth, do you mind if I'm going to switch that up a little bit, because we have people who don't actually work during the day. So why don't we say, how can I keep my energy positive this week? Is that okay if I kind of steal that? You let me know if that's way off the beaten track, and we can maybe hold that question. How can we best, oh, I lost it. Keep our energy positive this week? Oh my gosh, you guys threw so many questions at me. Please bring them back next week. I'm seeing Els here in alternate to her moon question. What was the most important lesson I took from this month? Ooh, I like this. I like a look back. I'm going to go with that one. What was the most important? So again, if I missed it, I'm sorry. Doing my best. I'm not picking favorites, I promise. I took from this month. Don't die on me now, fountain pen. Okie doke. All right, so we got some good ones. So our 5 questions, actually, let me put this over here. How can we prepare for impulsively? So a little bit Sabbath here. How will the new moon influence us this week? Which is great, because I didn't do enough new moon work as I intended to do. Again, travels, excuses. How can we give back to our community? How can I or we best keep our energy positive this week? Okay, good, Elizabeth. I'm glad you were okay with that. And 5th question, what was the most important lesson I took from this month? Okay, one of the things I just realized is I didn't pull up my little cheat sheet that I like to use to keep myself on track. But I think I pretty much got the format down this week. Okay. The way that I'm like llamas, I'm almost pronouncing it like the animal. No, that's right. Okay. You'll have to glide me so I can hear how you say it. I mean, if you'd like, I don't have to like tell you what to do, but okay. All right, I think I'm got my agenda up here. All right, so let's get our card. All right, I'm going to focus on our questions for this week. I'm going to do my terrible overhand shuffling first. Okay. How's everybody doing today? Hopefully good. Hopefully good. Hopefully the 3 of Swords didn't get you down. Oh, gosh. I can't shuffle under pressure, apparently. Okay. All right. Simon's hoping for Hermie. I really loved seeing the answers in the Facebook group last night. All right, you guys. Is it a major? Is it a major? It's not a major. You guys are gonna want to kill me. Not only I'm sorry. This is a good one. Not only is it another swords, it's a knight, it's a court card. We're just going to get a run of majors. Remember, the tarot tells us and answers us with what we need to know, not what we want to hear, right? I was like, unsubscribed. All right. But I actually think about our questions, you guys. Our questions. How can we prepare for Imbolc Llamas? How will the new moon influence us this week? How can we give, okay. How can we best keep our energy positive? What was the most important lesson? All right. So, I've been liking to ask you lately, what did you feel when I pulled this card? So I see some disappointment, I would say might be what some people what some people might have been feeling when they pulled this. Sandra said, "Oh no." Oh no, Sandra. I mean, the knight's not a bad card, right? I mean, there's some stuff going on. We have some things we can work with here. Kimberly says this resonates for the week ahead. Oh, LC, yeah, we looked at the tarot mood deck, and I know some people like that, but yeah, it's got a funky caption. Jennifer's saying busy, lots of activity. Oh yeah, Sandra doesn't like the swords. I know, but I don't. You got an air sign like drawing from this deck. I don't know. Damn the torpedo, says Julia. Jen signs so likes getting the cards. Yeah, I have to say I have learned so much more about the court cards. I mean, been getting much more comfortable with them since we've drawn a couple in the tarot play dates. Oh, and this is Elle's card of the week. See, we're here for you, Elle. We're here for you. Emma was hoping for a court card. So we can all say that Emma manifested it, and it's not me. Michelle says, no time for rest. Wendy, keep charging forward. Don't hold back. Essence 818, yay for swords, right? Sean, hi, Sean. Go all in with clear focus. I don't know if I said hi to you, Sean, but if I didn't, that was my hi. All right, we're all going to do Elle's work for her and help her figure out how this card is going to play out for her this week. All right, so, anything I can do to kind of shift that blame elsewhere, Emma, thanks for helping me out there. So Simon says he is the rebellious teenager who rails at the world and all its injustice. Big up this guy, right? He's going to fight. He's going to fight for that little guy, right? Or even the big guy, maybe. All right, what are some initial meanings, like Simon just kind of presented here and some of the ones that we've heard before? What are your kind of initial thoughts about this card? How would you interpret it, generally speaking, not necessarily in context of a question? So Kathy says, champion your thoughts with fervor. Essence 818, the intensity and determination to move forward is very apparent. Yes. Yeah, this is really a card about action for me. And a lot of times I see it as just, that bigger, like, I'm just going to go for it. And sometimes this guy's going for it, and maybe he needs to stop and think for a minute before he goes for it, but he just goes for it. Let's see. Maharet says, fast moving forward. Aquarius Owl, going guns blazing, right? This card is all about the action and the movement that we see in it. Now, because it's a swords, think about that too, right? So the fighter that will do whatever it takes to be heard. Gracia says, courageous, rebellious, brave. Full steam ahead, says Wendy. Now, if we bring in the air element, what do you think, how does that play into this card when it comes to a lot of the things that we associate the swords cards with the air element? right? We have the thought and the ideas. The hermit's cave. I was going to call you the hermit today, Simon. I haven't done that in a minute. I haven't made up weird names for you. Also goes for it with his speech and little consideration, right? So maybe he just says whatever the heck is on his mind. This is the no filters guy, right? No filters. Do any of you identify with no filters guy? Wendy says, don't overthink it, just do it. L, direct, analytical. It represents air in its truest form, so it could also be coldly logical to the point of being unfeeling. Listen to me, says Aquarius Al, like he's demanding it, right? You listen to me. Knights are air, swords are air. Jen's like, I'm the no filters guy. Yeah, Jen. Yes, you are, but I love you for it. Quick to make value judgment, says White Tree Tarot. Michelle, laser focused on one's goals, right? Just that intensity, right? All right. Any other just kind of overall thoughts before we dive into specific imagery? My gosh, you guys, I'm warm as heck today. I'm just gonna, okay, glad I brought a little tissue. I take my sweater off, but then I look really dumpy. Okay. Yeah, see what Elle says. Robin, Toadstool, hi Robin. Be bold in airing your issues. So Simon says, I feel that this card represents aspects of ourselves which we don't want to let go of, such as admitting what lies beneath, i.e. a vulnerability or feeling that we are losing control. Love that. Yeah, because while this guy is like charging ahead, is he really in control? Or is that horse running away from him? Or with him, I guess. Sean says, a leader. Elizabeth, the Knight of Swords, is sharp-minded, direct, and an idealistic person. Wendy says, nothing gets in my way. Elizabeth, he is a great problem solver and debater. Be a Knight of Swords. Jen, check out this. No, I'm not doing it. It's okay. It's like I get the adrenaline going with these play dates. And the last few weeks, I've been kind of down on my energy. So I'm just going to kind of roll with it. Gracia, I always think he who dares wins. I'm assuming is what you mean. Heather, he tries to be assertive but comes across as aggressive because he lacks the maturity of the king. Is that what you mean? To temper himself. Blue sky thinking. What does that mean, Wendy? What do you mean by that? So, Robin, I was noticing this earlier, and I was going to bring this up, so thank you. If left is the past and right is the future, is he retreating rather than charging ahead, right? So a lot of us look at the direction that the court cards are facing, right? And it does. It looks like he's running towards the past in this particular card. All right, so let's talk about some of the imagery that we see. So what kind of jumped out at you when you first saw this? And I'll go ahead, and I haven't done this yet, but I'll pull this in close. Let you see all the good stuff. Come on. Oh, there we go. Ah. See, I love looking at this in the camera. I see things I haven't noticed before. Anybody notice something they haven't seen in this card before, too? The butterflies and the red birds, says Emma. Forever Wear feels her or his ideas are more important than anything else and can trample things. Yep. Bastet noticed the red feather, like the fool. I like that. Yeah, I had never seen the butterflies today, you guys, until I just showed you that on the camera. Every time, there's always a little something. Gracia notices the clouds and the horse, lots of movement, right? You know, we don't see these clouds shaped like this, really. Do we see that in any other card? Is this the only one? Essence 818, swift, which doesn't always mean the right choice, but definitely a choice has been made, right? Charging ahead. Maybe we put some thought into it. Maybe we haven't. Let's see here. The trees are going against the wind, says Al. Yeah, look at that. So the trees are bending this way. The clouds look like they're going this way. Yeah, oh, Forever Wear said the same thing. Mendy says the wind is blowing the trees in the opposite direction. Yeah, so like 3 of you noticed that, right? No, 4 of you, Michelle too. I'm reading these all out of order. I jumped to the top, bottom, middle. There's no rhyme or reason. Sandra notices the red glove and cape, right? The color red, passion, intensity, right? Simon says the butterflies are representing lightness as well as flightiness. That's a good call, yes. Sean also noticed the wind against him. I don't know what's happening there with that comment in the middle there. All right, Aquarius owl, red birds. Somebody keep an eye on LOHM for me. Wendy, it's the blue sky that got me thinking of this phrase. We used it at work a lot. Which phrase? Did I miss a phrase? Okay, Wendy, you'll have to tell me if I missed something there. Emma said she just noticed today that he has a bird on his glove and never noticed that. So I'm going to pull that in really close. Come on. Bird on his glove. Where's the bird? Am I missing it? Maybe I'm missing it. Oh, it's on his cape. On his cape. Where's the bird? What is wrong with me? Maybe I'm looking at the wrong thing. So Emma, you have to tell me if I'm looking at the wrong thing. There are 5 red birds. Okay, what is wrong with me? Why do I not see? Are these birds? Are these things birds? No, those aren't birds. There are 4 butterflies. I suddenly feel like I can't see anything. Thank you, you two. Appreciate it. 2 birds on the horse and 3 on the cloak thingy. These guys. These birds? Oh, those are little birds. Okay, so we have some folks looking at a different version of this card. So this is the original tarot, and that's really helpful. And we'll look at some of our other cards too and see if some of these elements appear. 5 red birds represent multifaceted and quintessential mind, but the negative is lack of unity and lack of coherence. So Simon, is that from our book? Our handy dandy ultimate guide to the Rider-Waite tarot? Is that from that maybe? All right. Butterflies. Okay, so we have the butterflies. Somebody mentioned kind of Simon, I think, mentioned that, representing lightness and flightiness. What else do we think some of this imagery mean? What do the birds mean? So if you guys are seeing these birds, the 5 birds are in that card. Yeah, I believe you. Are these birds? Is that what? Do you guys just want to yell at me right now? Come on, focus. Are these where the birds are? We have the birds there, 3 birds here. Is that maybe it? Birds are ideas. Oh, I like that on you. Okay, good. I'm pointing at 3. They don't look like birds to me in this card, but they're somewhat abstract. But okay. He's wearing armor, says Sean. Yeah, that's kind of the first mention that I've seen of that. In the upper right corner, there are also 5 birds. Oh, way up there. Little tiny birds. Oh, my nail's covering. Come on. Here we go. You know you want to. You guys see the little birds. It's not focusing. There we go. 5 birds up in the corner there too. So Gracia says a lot of mental focus. There we go. A lot of mental energy, but disorganized in nature. Did anyone mention that he's barely in the frame? The sword is out of the frame. The back of the horse is out of the frame. The front hoof is out of the frame. So he's taking up a lot of space in this card, right? Messengers could be the birds, says Franz Claire. Scroll up for the meaning of the 5 birds. Didn't I read that out loud? The multifaceted and quintessential mind, but the negative is lack of unity and lack of coherence. Yes. And there are bluebirds on his shirt. Okay. I have to stop looking for birds. I could obsess apparently all dang day. So, hey, Brian. Yep, you can take a seat anywhere you like. We are talking about the Knight of Swords, and I'm really hot today. Okay. You know what? I have my heater on. Let's just turn that off. That'll help. Okay. So what do we think about the landscape here? I don't think we've talked at all about the landscape that we're seeing in this card. Anybody have some thoughts or ideas on that? Ooh, Simon says the red cloth is deep emotions with high passion. Oh, White Tree Tarot. So either you were right on track with me or you're really quick to answer. So the land behind him looks deserted and dry. Do we see any water in this card? No water. I see no water in this card. None. None to speak of. This guy is not about emotions. Okay. Oh, you got the beanbag chair. Oh, I need a couple of those. Maybe in my new Zen space, once I get it put together, I'll have some beanbags. That sounds amazing. Is the horse leaping or jumping? Asks Sean. What do you guys think? To me, he looks like he's just running, like just running. Wendy says his helmet is up, so he is focused on where he is going, and the armor is protecting him from anything that may come from his actions. Michelle, it looks like he's leaping up onto higher ground. We were thinking right along the same lines, White Tree. See, bare of vegetation, warning against becoming alienated from the earth, L. There you go, right? You know, maybe a loss of grounding, right? He's kind of above the earth, so maybe he is not grounded in his approach. It's jumping suddenly into frame, says Franz Claire. Attack, says Elizabeth. The horse is giving him the side eye. Like, this horse is like, what are you doing, dude? Like, the horse does look a little frightened. Doesn't he? He's like, what are we doing? Yeah, I like that. Thank you for pointing that out, Aquarius Al. All right. Any other thoughts on this card? Are we ready for an alternate card and our first question? I'm going to take a sip of tea, but I think we might be ready. White Tree Tarot, maybe the land is deserted after too many battles after war. Robin says he's going against the grain, uphill against the wind. The trees and birds and clouds are all in confusion, right? So could this represent chaos? Okay. Simon says, like the high priestess, the sword goes out at the image, which indicates we grasp things way beyond our own horizons. Oh, that's cool. Like the high priestess. Like the high. Do you mean the columns, maybe? Is that what goes up out of the frame, Simon, in the high priestess? Because I know there's no sword in there. He looks like he's going to kick him if the knight is back on the ground. Like, right when they stop, that horse is going to be like, we're not doing that again. Okay. Oh, justice. That makes sense. That makes sense. All right. So, well, I need to keep this guy nearby because I like to show it as a side by side. All right. So once again, I know I say this every time, but I just like to remind this, and for anybody who's new, every week before the day before play date, I randomly choose 5 decks for my collection that we can use to look at alternative cards. So it's random. It's not anything I chose in advance because obviously I don't know what card we're going to get. So today, our first alternate deck is, oh, Robin was noticing the spiky toe and heel, right? You know, our Knight of Cups that we looked at, right, have the wings or the feathers. And this guy has sort of more sharp edges, right? Okay, so let's get from the Darkness of Light Tarot. Let's take a look at our Knight of Swords. You know, Sandra, I know you said you don't like the swords, but at least we're knocking them out. Vaughn, hello, Vaughn. That's my puppy. Shh. You don't need to help, Vaughn. All right, so these cards are a little bit dark, but this has a very different energy in this card. I'm going to pull it really close and then pull it back. Fun. I know. He has been barky all morning. I gave him CBD oil, gave him his anti-anxiety medication. All right. Yeah, my dog is being very Knight of Swords with his opinion. Barking without regard for others. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this knight is definitely not in a rush, right? Yeah, I saw that you had this on your wish list video, Brian. Okay, wait. I need to scoot over. So there's our original, and here's our Darkness of Light. Yeah, you very rarely see that with the Knight of Swords. We almost always see a bunch of movement in this particular card. Although he's definitely head to toe in armor, right? Yeah, see, Sean? Yeah, more of a standstill. So how does this change the energy of this card? Do we get something different? I feel like he's more controlled in his approach. And he also looks like he's coming toward us, right? Emma says he seems to be battle ready, as if he's entering the battlefield with confidence. It looks like it might be snowing. Yeah, this deck has a very wintry landscape, I would say. I do tend to pull this one out in the winter as well. He's definitely going into battle. No turning back, says White Tree Tarot. On you, he is very dark, stark, and peaceful. Much more in control, says Maharet. Robin says the sword is raised and ready, but the approach is a bit reluctant. Yeah, I could see that. Definitely more control, says Sandra. Confidence, says Elizabeth. Yeah, I'm not sure I see reluctance either, but I can, we all got to trust our intuition. Bastet, he looks noble. One hoof is up. It's about to go. Right? I feel like we usually see that, like in the Knight of Cups, right? With one, there's kind of a different level of movement in each of the Rider-Waite-Smith Knights. Yeah, my box is signed as well. This is the second edition for anybody who's interested. The third edition has white borders at the top and the bottom. Science to Soul Jen says he looks very guarded with all that armor. Brian Papa Squirrel, I see the confidence. His posture is very proper, chest out and proud, ready. Anything else, right? So obviously this deck, there's a lot less color. So we don't see that passionate red. We don't see the blowing clouds. Definitely not the movement. And the landscape, though, still looks fairly barren. I'm not sure I see water in this card. Okay, that's awesome. Okay. Anything else? Boy, I'm getting trolled today. That's fun. All right. Let's see our first question. Ooh, this is an interesting one. So with this particular night, how can we prepare for Imbolc/Lamas or Lamas or however you say it? I still don't know what the correct pronunciation is. Hi, Michelle. Welcome in. Wendy says, so not as much attack on as his sword is held up straight rather than pointing outward. His face is hidden, says Anu. He looks more dangerous than the Rider-Waite-Smith one, says White Tree Tarot. Hi, Earthy Shy. Well, at least we can keep you company while you clean. That's what I do when I clean. I listen to YouTube. Yeah, all right. I feel good about the trolls. People are running my channel. I mean, maybe that's a bit of an overstatement, but I'm not going to thrust about it. That's for darn sure. All right, Heather, lamb is how I say it. Oh, so like silent. Okay. Oh, silent ENS. Got it. All right. Ominous and threatening, says Michelle, at least his exterior. All right. So Simon, I'm going to put you on the spot only because I should write down who asked these questions. I just happen to remember this is yours. So how can we prepare for Imbolc lamb? Is that how I say it? Or lamb-s. Oh, not lamb silent. I give up. I give up. All right, you guys, I will watch this back and be just like, what was I saying? So Simon, did this card kind of bring anything to you in answer to this question, or anybody else who celebrates these Sabbats? What did you think? How does he tell you to prepare? Or she? There could be a she under that helmet. Bastet says, take everything you know to honor this day. Simon says, I'm going to be less of a rebellious teenager who goes rushing in without consideration, still speak my mind and be honest and open, but consider people's feelings. That's a wonderful interpretation. I love that. So Robin says, when we look at knights, I wonder if we should also consider our knights without the K. What do you mean by that, Robin? We're talking a lot about just loving the cards. Heather says, don't prepare. Allow yourself to just go with where your energy takes you. Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it, too. I'm going to have to do a little research on this particular one and figure out kind of what it's about, because I feel like then that would maybe, I'm sorry I'm not offering much on this particular one, only because I just don't know enough about the Sabbat. But yeah, I feel like it's, if we were to answer it now with this, woo, dropsy and a catch. We're getting fancy up in here now. Would you answer it differently looking at this card? And I feel like, Simon, it's almost like, you know what it seems like to me, you guys? I almost feel like this card is this like reversed, right? It's kind of that slowing down of all of that energy. Does anybody else see what I'm saying there? Yes, I want a cool card stand, Mama Squirrel. I will let you. I will let you. Night approaching, night approaching. Oh, I see what you're saying, Robin. Okay. We're gonna, sorry you guys. I don't know what is wrong with me today. Maybe it's my hair. Maybe it's too fluffy today. Okay. Less rebellious teenager. Yes. Okay, so you see what I'm saying about this, like, no, wait, this one. This one reversed equals this one. Hi, Jamie, welcome. It seems like he's walking slowly into battle, says Foreverwhere. So Mendy says, interestingly, I just pulled out the Darkness of Light guidebook and it opened right up to the Wheel of the Year and said swords is the suit for December through February. See, I tell you, there's a reason we get the cards we do. I'm not trying to be rebellious and not give you the majors, that's for sure. Yep, exactly. All right. Darling Gill, I think it looks like they are both leaving destruction behind, but one is charging through and the other walks away calmly. Yeah, maybe the intellect is a little bit more firmly rooted here. And maybe we don't have the issue with the filters that we have at this particular night. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move us on to our next card. This one should have a very different vibe to it because my second deck that I randomly selected this week is the Textured Tarot. Oh, Franz Claire says, if you go deep into an invoke meditation, Astro, you'll have King of Swords as your champion. Oh, I like that. Okay, let's get, I keep wanting to shuffle, and that's the wrong thing to do. That'll just make this drag on and on. No, not the Two of Swords this week. Guys, I need a nap. I don't know what's going on. Okay. Get this one out of the way because I might want to pull this. Now, this one's fun. I should really like this night. Okay, I'm going to pull it in close and then we'll talk about it. Notice we got those birds up there. So this is our Knight of Swords in the Textured Tarot. Hi, Becca. No worries about being late. It's nice to see you. So what do you think? I definitely feel like this brings back a bit of the energy and the movement we saw in the original. Also the birds, but why flowers? Well, maybe, so, you know, this looks like, you know, this all looks very airy. So maybe that's bringing in a bit of the earth element, perhaps. Yeah, I really like the flowers. It feels a less chaotic, right? We don't have the same wind movement and cloud movement that we have here. We are moving in the same direction, though. Aquarius Al says, this horse seems to be leaping rather than galloping. Oh, that's the word I was looking for earlier. Emma says, looks like the knight is about to go face first over the horse. Yeah, you know, but it's like that standing up movement, right? Like really going for it. You know, when you see riders gallop, they are up and off that horse, right? Not that I ride. I don't really ride. But Heather says it looks like he is standing on the horse. Her stance seems almost more anxious than her horse. Let's look at the expression on the face there. Let's see what we get. Yeah, you know what, though? The long hair makes us think female, but that face looks masculine to me. I love that. It could be either. I always like that. So here we have the sword. The sword to me is a much smaller element in this particular card. Come on. There we go. Now we still get some red with the rose. What about the horse? The horse looks calm. All right, let's see what your guys' thoughts were as I was just indulging myself there for a moment. The cogs in the background, yeah, there's like, you know, so I think of that as sort of that element of thinking and analytical approach, right? Oh, there are clouds down here. Those look like clouds to me. Let's see. The rider is preparing for a jump, says Foreverwhere. Looks as though he is a jockey the way he is riding. Yes, Wendy, that's what I'm picturing in my head. This is the Textured Tarot, Brian. Elizabeth is not feeling it. Some people, one of the things about this particular deck is it's very collage art, and that's not necessarily everybody's style. So sometimes that can be a bit of a turnoff for some folks. I really like it. Are they dandelion puffs? No, I don't think they're dandelion. Oh, where's Twist when we need them? These look like, what kind of flower are those? Yeah, those are a flower with like a, what do you call the thing in the middle? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm calling landscapers because I can't even take care of my own yard. Let's see. Asters. Oh, they're mums. Okay, so you guys I would never have picked that. Or Maharet says gerbera or chrysanthemum. Okay, there we've got a lot of different chrysanthemums. Dahlias are mums, right? All right, so anything in particular that you feel represents something different in this card than we saw in, let's just compare it to the original rather than also the darkness of light, because I don't want to get this too crazy. The flower with the things in the middle. Yeah. Could be dahlias. How many people are Googling flower images right now? All right. So while you're Googling, why are the flowers here? Well, that's a good question. Why are the flowers here? What do they say to you about this? So Robin says, I'm preoccupied by the relationship between the red rose and the white mum. So what does that mean to you, Robin? What do you think that relationship is? Here I think we get that level of passion that we get from the red in this is just my interpretation, of course, that we get in our original Knight of Swords. In Emma's universal weight, the knight has a flower in his helmet or on his helmet where his ear is. See, Elizabeth, I had a feeling it might be the collage thing. All right, so our second question is, how will the new moon influence us this week? So now looking at this card, how will the new moon influence us this week? Now, I'm going to tell you, for me, something that kind of keeps coming up for this week as I was reading about the new moon and I was drawing my card for the day today and all those things, I really need to move forward with the intentions that I'm setting. I've been a little procrastinating, and I think I really just need to go for it. All right, let's see what you guys are saying here. White Tree Tarot, he is taking the hurdle. There is specific purpose, not just running around with a sword. Wendy says, the red rose is near the sleeve as though wearing heart on the sleeve. Oh, now that's interesting. Bringing a little bit of emotion into this card that we didn't really see in those other two. Everybody's still wondering what's up with the flowers. Sean says, the flowers could mean having good intentions. I really like that. That's a great interpretation. Bastet says, we lead from a space of inner strength and go for our goals. I love that, with answering the question for the new moon, right? Hi, Lori. Oh, I'm sorry you're sick, and that's okay. We're on our third card here today. Anu says, we will fight with our worries, but our purpose will move us forward. That's a wonderful interpretation. Jen says, I just need to get moving this week. See, that's kind of how I'm interpreting it for me as well. I feel like, I really actually need to set those intentions, and I need to be ready to move forward with them. Kimberly says, determination in moving forward. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Any other thoughts before I move on to our fourth card? Yeah, so Forever Wear and Elizabeth, not quite understanding the flowers. I really liked Sean, the idea of the intentions, right? Positively intentioned. A lot of time we talked earlier about the night maybe having no filters, but maybe this kind of brings in the, okay, you're charging forward, but your intentions are good. You're not trying to cause harm by not having any filters. All right. Elle says, just do it as an interpretation of this card, right? All right. I'm going to pull up. Let me see here really quick if I can see it. Here. Keep holding that up while I look at this. The Knight of Swords. Oh, this book. Oh, there it is. Let's see if it says anything about the flowers. Maybe we can put that to rest. Warrior, strong and brave. Charge fast against the wind. Courageous, headstrong. Swift actions with ambition. This is just a bunch of keywords. Says nothing about the flowers. Sorry, guys. The moon energy will take us to another level, says Wendy. And Robin, energies are blossoming. Okay. All right. Some people confused by the flowers. All right, card number 3. So this one's a real, you have no idea what we're going to get. So this one here, my third deck that I picked with this week was the 78 Tarot Mythical by 78 Tarot. So who knows? Because this is a deck of 78 different artists. And so the imagery is different on every card. All right, 4 of Swords, page. Ooh, all right. Oh, this should be fun to talk about. This is going to be really fun to talk about. Thank you, Jen, my cheerleader. On you, flowers equal earth, material world, earthly things. Yeah, that's kind of how I was interpreting them. That's for sure. Okay. Let's look at our 78 Tarot Mythical. These are the backs. I don't know if I showed that already. Here is our Knight of Swords from the 78 Tarot Mythical. And the artist here is Rydia Levesque Martinet, maybe? Sounds maybe French. All right, I'm going to pull it close, and then I'll pull it back. Come on, I just want some focus. There we go. It's an interesting take on that, isn't it? What do you think? So we have butterflies here, some familiar elements. Wow, that's determination, says Bastet. This saddle, you know, we get our bright pop of red here in this card. That sword is gigantic. That was kind of one of the first things I noticed. Like, that is a very big sword. Like how that person is hanging on to that sword. Let's get close. Come on, focus camera. There you go. I love that her hair looks like a lion's mane, or his hair. But that looks like a her to me for whatever reason. Yeah, this is the 78. No, this is the mythical, not the elemental. Yeah, this creature, well, I think it's mythical based on the name of the deck. But, you know, it's kind of like this little, it looks like a lion to me, like it's based in a lion. Like a lion / dragon. I don't flipping know. Come on, there we go. Look at that tongue. Oh my gosh. Taming the Beast, Wendy, is that what you're saying there? It looks like she's leaving the castle to defend everybody inside of it. Don't get in her effing way, says Sean. Right? Yeah, the butterflies have replaced the birds. Although we did have butterflies on the saddle, or on the, what do you call that? The bridle? Is that what you call that? On this horse here, but we actually have the flowers in the air instead of the birds in the air. I knew what you meant, Wendy. I wonder how he has got the bridle on the beastie without getting eaten. Well, has the beast been tamed? Let's see. Be fierce, says Robin. Sandra doesn't like the deck. The whole deck? Well, oh, I know about your experience with this deck. Big claws, a Chinese lion, says Sean. Is that what that looks like? Elizabeth noting the big claws. So what do we feel like the energy is from this card? You know, I definitely feel, again, that sort of movement and charging forward, much more kind of indicative of this card to me. He's defending a castle here, says Foreverwhere. Right. Brute force, says Elle. Yeah, our landscape isn't quite as barren. Oh, White Tree Tarot. It's from French folklore. In the background is the storming of the Bastille. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, and so actually, you guys, this is one I probably should read from the book. Oh, Knight of Swords. Heather says this one seems a lot more aggressive and defensive. Emma's got nothing. Elizabeth, defending mode. Robin says the sword is stabbing at the claw, grasping for something beyond the card. Yeah, it looks like they're both kind of reaching for the same thing, right? So here, this shows the knight as a colonel riding the beast of, okay, I don't know how to pronounce this, Gévaudan, from French folklore of the 18th century, like White Tree Tarot told us. This beast is a wolf-like creature, and hundreds of people died under its sharp teeth. Here, the colonel has been able to control the creature and make it his mount. He is a fierce character who never gives up and nothing can stop him. Behind is the storming of the Bastille, symbol of the French Revolution. The man leaves darkness behind and moves to a brighter future. I chose a French creature because French folklore is not very well known, and being French myself, I wanted to work with that. So that's the information from the artist. Sorry if I got a little slippy there with the card. So that's really interesting. I like that. The sword is stabbing at the claw, grasping for something beyond the card. Oh yeah, I already said that. Clawing your way out of a situation, says Wendy. Jamie says, the nice thing is all the cards have great movement in common. Yeah, except for you probably missed, Jamie. We did also get this, the Knight of Swords, from the Darkness of Light. And so that really has a very different energy. Sean likes it better now after hearing the story. Yeah, that's one thing I do like about these is that we do get a lot of information about what the artist was doing or thinking. All right, so this is going to be a fun question to answer with this card. So our third question that we wrote down today is, how can we give back to our community? So looking at this card, how can we give back to our community? And I would say fiercely defend its members, right? Fiercely defend our community members. Being there to guard and defend. I know I've said defend 3 times, but that's what's coming through for me with this card. Any other thoughts? Elle says in this card, cockiness, ego, thought taking over. The smallness of the writer could show thought overpowering or becoming too cumbersome. I really like that, Elle. Yeah, Heather, by defending those who need it the most. Yeah, see, we were kind of thinking something really similar. White Tree Tarot, and make some revolution if necessary or if needed. Jamie says it looks like a defense card. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Is defending. Anything else? Any different thoughts? I feel like we're all kind of on a similar wavelength. The card makes more sense to you now, Elizabeth. That's great. Robin says, attack every opportunity. Take advantage of situations offered to help others. Stick up for your buddies, says Elle. Or by taking up the fight where appropriate. Like maybe not being afraid. Sometimes we might see something and don't do something, right? So maybe this is telling us see something, do something. Not even just say something, do something. Don't let the bad things get to you and the ones that are near you, says Bastet. What did Simon say? Did I miss something that Simon said? Do I have a Simon comment I missed somehow? Because I don't see you making any comments, Simon. Did somebody block Simon from me? That's not very nice. Oh, wait, I see his little smirky face, though. Darling Gill, be mindful of people around you. Your words might be more damaging than you may initially think. Wendy says, fight for the cause that is of importance to the community. Oh, that was aimed at Heather, not Simon. Got it. No, Simon's not blocked. Better not do that. All right, forever aware, this knight seems alone by themselves. Maybe a warning against going it alone. You weren't put on timeout, were you, Simon? Don't mess with me. Don't mess with me. I don't want to have to take Elle's power away. All right. Good job on that one, you guys. That was fun. A little fun and different. Okay, so we're going to get into a couple of very different decks that I haven't worked with very much yet. Okay, all right. I'm glad you'll be good, my darling tarot daughter. Okay, our fourth deck is the Spolia Tarot. So this is another collage deck. So apparently we went collage this week. So Elizabeth, sorry. Sorry if that's not your bag. All right, where are my swords in this one? Wands, swords. Okay. Hi, Morella. Welcome in. Elizabeth, no. No, I'm sorry. All right, so here is the Knight of Swords from the Spolia Tarot. I'm going to pull it in and pull it back. Try not to shake with all the caffeine I've been drinking today. Wendy says, make sure you have someone. I'm on your side. A fierce warrior with 2 swords, right? So we've got this one here and this one here. Sorry, it's a little blurry. Come on. There we go. This camera takes its sweet time focusing, doesn't it? All right. Well, hopefully you can see that. So this here, is this like is this like a slash in the air? What is that? So Bassett says, is he fighting against a tornado? Elle's being attacked by the Knight of Swords energy from the other mods. Kimberly says, fighting a major element. He is battling with Sky, says Anya. Yeah, that's what it looks like, right? He's battling the air. Elizabeth, no horse or animal. Robin, it looks like a beast in the tornado cloud, but what is that brown thing in the sky? Like, it looks like he's ripped a hole in the sky, right? Or a slash in the sky is what it looks like to me. No horse in this, right? So that's really different for our mount. For our mount, he's not mounted on a horse. Very different for our knight. Has the knight torn a slash in the card? Yeah, are we breaking that fourth wall there? He seems to be battling whatever that yellow thing is in the distance. Yeah, it's, you know, and definitely with the collage nature of these cards, it's a bit more abstract. Heather doesn't like knights that are not mounted. Did that sound wrong? He slashed a hole through the cards, says Brian. Standing on their own 2 feet, says Wendy. You know, of his own mind, says On You. White Tree Tarot says, gives me some Don Quixote vibes, fighting against a windmill. Interesting. Is that what does Don Quixote fight a windmill? Elle says, mind against heart, trying to exit the logical side of the brain to reach the emotional side or wise mind. I love that. That's great, Elle. Something is flying at him from the tornado. Sorry, every once in a while I just gotta pause and turn it around. Fighting against the unseen, says Wendy. It did sound wrong, but right? The slash in the sand or the same color. As above, so below, says Robin. Emma, the knight breaking the fourth wall, representing inner conflict with the divine. Oh, you guys are getting deep with this one. I'm loving it. Totally here for it. Darling Gill, battling your demons inside your head. Bassett says, oh, for our question, fight the bad weather front, stay positive, even if you have to slash out. Fighting against the imaginary beast, says White Tree Tarot. Sean says, standing against a power far bigger than you that you think you can handle. Oh, battling the demons or anxieties, Darling Gill. Yep. This is the Spolia Tarot. You don't sack Heather. Spolia is the backs. This is a deck that I just stumbled on when there was a teeny tiny little gallery in Seattle that had a tarot exhibit. And I wandered in and I saw this and I thought, oh, that's really cool and different. And I hadn't heard of it before then, but then I heard about it a bunch after that, of course. It's like when you buy a new car, you see your car everywhere. Okay, so our fourth question is, how can I or we keep our energy positive this week? So how does this night tell us to help us keep our energy positive this week? What do you think? Robin says it looks like pure white intentions are rising from his head, right? See that light, right? There we go. Now we get some focus. Yeah, Kimberly, right? These people blow my mind every darn week. All of you. Darling Gill, what about protecting yourself from outside energies, right? So don't let those negative energies get at us, right? And to me, this definitely speaks a lot of potential negative energies. And we're like, nope, not today, not this week. Don't look for an enemy where there is none, says White Tree Tarot. Oh, I love that, right? Because we don't actually see a physical enemy. Oh, that's a great interpretation. Forever wear. Don't get lost in imaginary battles. So you two are on the same wavelength there. I love that. Any other thoughts for that? How can I best keep our energy positive? I think those are great answers. All right, take another sip of tea, let you think for another second, and then we'll pull our fifth and final card for this week. And then I won't forget to come back for the reversals or the reversal. Elle says, being mindful of where you are, where your thoughts stem, and then going from there. I like it. I like it a lot. Okay, so really quick before I put this away. So Robin said, choose your battles, don't take home what can't be conquered. Just a couple of things to maybe note that are different. We don't get the bright pop of red here. On you says he should maybe run away if the tornado is moving closer, not standing here. Yeah. But these nights, this is a fearless night, I think. I don't think this is going to be our night that runs away. Wendy, don't worry about things that may not happen. I thought he was just willing out. See, we can go deeper. We can do better, Brian. All right. Last card. So this one's going to be a little bit different, and I have not worked with this deck at all. It's been sitting in my collection waiting to be used. What does the cloud loop above his head mean? You guys. Okay, before I put this away, okay, does anybody else see anything? Look at the clouds again. Instead of looking at the white, look at the dark space. Does this look like a little beastie? Look at eye, mouth. Did anybody else see that? Maybe I missed a comment. Elle said the original version is more controlled. Spolia is more blind luck of where the sword hits. Aquarius. Oh, a dragon, a beast, a turtle head. Yeah. It's a cute monster. It looks like, I don't know, like a Loch Ness monster head or something like that. Oh, Heather sees a cute dog. Is Logan nearby? Is he influencing in what you're seeing in this card? Yeah. Anyway, so maybe, yeah, and it is. It's kind of like that imaginary battle that's happening. Maybe something he's just seeing it in the clouds, but it's not really there, right? Anyway, sorry. I looked at that. I started to put it down. I was like, wait a minute. There's a beastie in there, a turtle. Yeah, it's a beastie turtle. But it's like now I can't stop seeing it. That's the first thing I see now when I look at this card. Oh, yes. If there's food around, the doggos are around, right? All right. Our last and final deck. So I don't know if anybody recognizes this one. This is the Victorian Tarot. So not the Victorian Romantic. This is a black and white deck by Taroko Studios. And I have not looked at this deck at all. So it'll be really fun to see what this brings for us today. Okay. Here is our Knight of Swords, and I'll pull it close and then pull back. What do you think? Now, this card I find really interesting for one particular reason. The sword is broken, yes. Looks like a Civil War soldier, says Brian. Gracia's thinking. Oh, this is the Victorian Tarot. So let me show the box. It's by Taroko Studio. I think I got it on Etsy. They also make the Revival Art Tarot. That's the other one that I got from them. Yeah, he's looking back over his shoulder. The hat's fallen off. He's not watching where he's going. His sword has been shot by a rifle or gun and is broken. Yeah, it does ship from Russia. It took a minute to get here. In mid-fight, says Elizabeth. This knight is not winning this battle. He's running for his life. Yeah, it does look because he's looking over his shoulder like he's running away rather than toward. Hope the horse is looking where they are heading. The first thing that popped into my head was bringing a sword to a gunfight, says Heather. Elle's having theater exam flashbacks. In the live performance, my sword broke on stage, but a Knight of Swords didn't. Went on and improvised. Hey, good for you, Elle. way to embrace the energy of this card. This shows retreat, says Aquarius Elle. Follow me as he is looking back. So now Wendy just brought something different. So we're all seeing retreat, but is he leading people? And he's like, hey, come on, guys, let's go, right? So there could be a really different way to look at this card. I love that, Wendy. Thank you for pointing that out. Because I was kind of with everybody's, yes, it looks like he's running away. And that was really the first thing that I noticed is that these guys are pointed in different directions. The horse is headed one way. He's looking back. So Emma assumed he was leading. Okay, good. Everybody run. Yes. All right. He is fleeing, says Elizabeth. So we all see sort of different things in this card. Yeah, I also noticed that is that a sword that's hanging here? Is that another sword? Does he have one at the ready for the one that got broken? Maybe. Yeah, there is lots of action and movement in this card for sure. White Tree says the bullet came from the front side, so he is facing the enemy. So this is something to think about. If the sword piece has blown backwards, then the energy must have been moving forward, right? If we want to start getting all physics on it, right? Yeah. Now we've got two camps, leading and retreating. I love it. I love it. Yeah, so Heather's saying he could be shouting charge, like charge. All right, sorry. I shouldn't enact the cards. I'm really getting into it today. He could be leading soldiers into a difficult fight, says Foreverwhere. That's a scabbard for his sword. Oh, so that's just where he puts his sword. No extra sword. This guy's in trouble. The horse knows they're in deep shit now. That face, right? All right, let's look at the horse's expression because I love doing that. Come on. I'm gonna have to work with this deck soon, you guys. Maybe I'll work with this deck this week. Maybe it's time. Darling Gale says the reins are tight. He's pulling away. Right. So this guy is really leaning back. I know nothing about Heather. I don't exactly sword fight on a daily basis. All right. I should absolutely act out the cards. Oh, acting is so not my thing, though. So it's best I not think about it. Robin, ride or die, panic mode, poor horse. All right. Let's bring in our final fifth question here. Oh, this is a good one. What was the most important lesson that I took from this month? All right, I love that with this card as the answer. What was the most important lesson I took from this month? Anybody have an instant thought on that? All right, bye, Brian. Thanks for stopping in. Bye, Essence 818. Have a good rest of your day, everyone. Don't look behind, says Darling Yell. Yeah, keep your eye on the moving forward, perhaps. Sometimes charging in without thinking is really bloody stupid, says Heather. Jen says to keep the F away from the shit, right? Just get away from it, right? I can totally see that for my month. Don't let setbacks keep you from moving forward, says Kimberly. Robin says be a bit more prepared for anything and don't drop your hat on your way to getting where you're going. Like, don't lose your cool, right? Sometimes we can get a little carried away and we sort of lose control. So for me, if I were to kind of look back, it's making sure that, whether I'm fighting or whether I'm running away from something, I want to maintain some semblance of control. I don't want to lose that. Yes, Al, I have my limits, okay? All right. Eyes on the prize, says Aquarius Al. Anybody else, can they kind of look back over their month and then see how the Knight of Swords might be speaking to them as far as what lesson was learned? Hi, Carmen. Emma says, with it being January and that's the new year, looking forward and moving on will help us ease into a new year with ease. Charge away from the old crap. Oh, I thought you were talking to me, Elle. You were talking to the other Jen. Got it. I think I did the same thing or would do the same thing. All right. Any other thoughts on that? If not, we can talk reversed meaning of the card, challenge. Right? I kind of cheated a little bit by talking about how I saw this sort of as the reversal of this night. But so for Knight of Swords is in a reverse. If you read reversals, Foreverwhere is glad the month is over. Yeah, I had some challenges this month that I had to face. So I had to be strong and embrace my Knight of Swords energy. All right, so if this guy's reversed or in a challenge position or in a blocking position of some kind, how would you interpret that? Okay, so Heather said, or maybe, whilst it's easier to not get involved, sometimes it's necessary to join the battle. Ooh, that's a good one, Heather. That is a good one. Nancy says, the Guardian Tarot says, this card indicates that you need to contemplate the direction life is taken and your choices that need to be made, surrounded by only that which brings you peace and comfort. Okay, I'm assuming those were still upright. Wendy says, don't look back, just concentrate on moving forward and taking control of your life. All right, bye, Mendy. Thank you for being here. Yeah, we need Jen nicknames stat for every Jen. All right, reversals. What are you thinking? Is it maybe lacking the energy and the movement, or being held back rather than charging forward? Oh, yes, Jen, being held back by your thoughts. What else do we see? So, Elle, you've been, not to call you out, but I kind of am. You know, you've been really great at really looking at the card physically upside down. Do you notice anything special this time? Gracia, imprudence, out of control. Inaction, says Wendy. Maybe a lack of passion in the movement. Maybe we're still moving forward, but not with as much gusto. L, you are not grounded in thought, holding on to something you are unable to fully grasp its ability to hold. The horse is the only thing touching the floor. I knew I could count on you, Al. Like I just knew. Jen Soul, Jen Witch, and Red Jen. Oh, I'm Red Jen. Troubles, says Carmen. Heather, a serious miscalculation in judgment, right? So maybe, or maybe this is really sort of that amplified out of control energy, you know, a bit more recklessness than we would see if this card was upright. Any other thoughts? Everybody stuck? What if I turn this one upside down? Or, ooh, this one upside down. Any additional thoughts? Okay, bye, Sean. I'm losing. The Knights of Swords reverse tells everybody to get the heck out of chat. No, this one reversed. Ooh, what about this one reversed? This could be fun. Let's look at this one upside down. Anything? The beast is going to eat him. This one upside down. Robin says, angles of feather, toe, foot face upward left, except sword down on the right or right man. Mahara, you don't want to look at the flowers? What? What's wrong with the flowers? Oh, darling Gail, I've realized how much I dislike knights and swords. Oh, that's too bad. I love the swords. You know, they are the challenge, right? They're the challenging suit. They represent things we need to face, but we have to address all things, right? We can't hide from it. Maybe there's some shadow work there. The spolia looked cool reversed. Yeah, I thought so too. All right, you guys. If you think of anything else, of course, feel free to pop it in chat. If you're watching this back and you have thoughts on these cards that we didn't discuss in chat, I would love to still see them in the comments below. It really, when I say this, is not too late to participate. Also, you can still participate in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group, or on Instagram, use hashtag Tarot Playdate, all one word. And that's a great way to still participate, even if you're not participating live, or if you're too busy taking notes in the live, or you have some epiphany later. All right, so in our Tarot Playdate, I do this every week, the Tarot Playbook, we use this book. So this is a book of activities on different ways to connect with your cards or the deck or whatever you want, whatever cards or deck you're trying to bond with. And with each activity, it's associated with a card. And with many of them, we have figured out that the card associated with activity sometimes does not have any logical relationship, but it still drives an activity that we can do this week. So this one is called Skin Deep. And let me do a quick, and this is on page 134 of the Tarot Playbook, if you have it, but we'll have an alternate activity. So if you don't have the book, stick around for just a second. So this one here, oh, it says spread the major arcana cards out before you. See, it knows we haven't been working with them, so it's giving you an opportunity to focus on the majors. And then it says you want to pick the least attractive card based on appearance, and then you're going to arrange cards to the right of that card so it's all focusing on literally like skin deep. It's called Skin Deep, like the surface look of the cards. It could be kind of a fun activity. All right, so there's that one. Again, that is on page 134 if you have the book. Oh, let's see. We had a few more thoughts. Elle said your judgment perception could, in fact, be grounded in truth. The monster thing is upright with that spolia. All right, bye, Wendy. All right, I'm going to read for those who are interested the alternative activity this week, or the alternate activity. I will, so you don't have to frantically write these down. I will post these in the description box when this video uploads, and I will also post it in the Facebook group. So this one, this activity is called Keeping It Cool. So this is, no, that was the King of Swords. Let's go to the Knight of Swords. How about that? Ooh, this one's kind of long, so I will probably speed through it here really quick. But again, I will put it all in typed form in the description box. So this one's called Use Your Words. So the page, nope, that's the Page of Swords. What is wrong with me today? Oh, this is because it's tiny and my thing keeps scrolling. Knight of Swords. This is short. Hold my beer. I remember Julie came up with that name and this activity. She's not in here today, but this is a Julie activity. I love it. Hold my beer, says the Knight of Swords. We all have that friend, the one that has good heart but acts impulsively and does stupid things, the one who is out to prove themselves. Develop a spread for this friend. If you're courageous, do it for them. So that's our Knight of Swords, Hold My Beer alternate activity. I want to thank you, as always, for being here. For those of you who stuck around for the whole thing or joined us at whatever point in time, or if you're watching this back, this one was a lot of fun. And if you have any questions for me, don't hesitate to put those in the description box below. And again, I hope you'll join us in the Tarot Playdate Facebook group. If you're on Facebook, don't forget to answer all 3 questions and the final little thing that says, do you agree to the rules? The rules are easy. It's just be nice to each other is really all it is. It's like the standard Facebook group rules. Just make sure to hit that agree button so we can let you in. We've had quite a few people that have even answered all 3 questions and don't do that last one. And we just want people to acknowledge that we want this to be a safe and fun space for everybody to participate. If you do the activities, post pictures, let me know. I really enjoy seeing them, hearing about them, and hearing about your experiences with the card of the week. All right, folks, I hope you enjoyed today. I certainly did. I finally stopped being so warm, so that's good. And I will send you off on the rest of your day or night or morning or whatever it is. And I will see you soon in the next one. Hopefully I'll see you all next week for our 10th Tarot Playdate, because today was number 9. All right, guys, see you next time. Bye.